Okay, so last night Global got top grossing for the Gohan and Trunks dual carnival banner, which, by the way, of course, let me know what you guys got on your summons if you did go ahead and summon on the global version with those dragon stones. But that's pretty cool. I don't know how many dragon stones you guys got. So you got 30 stones, same as JP, which is really cool. Now at this point, people are talking about, okay, I did my summons. Where is part 3, right? Maybe I want more stones for the dual Dokkan Fest or the dual Carnival banner. I want more EZAs, more content, right? And obviously that makes a lot of sense, right? This past week was literally just the new units that came out, which, as you see, they came out on the 14th. So it's been a couple of days at this point. Now, good news. I think there's going to be new Snipe. Yay, right? We could actually get some new information, see what's going on in part 3. The reason why is because we see the event period for the 5th post here is the 21st at 11 p.m. Pacific time. That's just in my time zone specifically. It would be the 22nd for most other people in the world. So let's just say for normal sake, the 22nd, right, is when part 3 should be starting, based on the fact that part 3 started on the 22nd, part 2 also started on the 8th, which you see here for the 3rd event period. It's the same thing, where it started on the 7th for me, but the 8th for most people in the world. For the 3rd post here, these posts usually reset when actual content drop during this celebration. A lot of the times, like right here, this is the same day that the LRs drop, for example. This is when part 2 started. This is going to be when part 3 starts, and then this right here should be like the final stretch of like content during the worldwide celebration of this year. But yeah, so we could expect to see new Snipe, because what they usually do is they usually give us the teasers exactly around like 48-ish hours before the actual events drop in game. So we should see a couple of things, I'm thinking. I mean, if we scroll down here, I think first and foremost we'll see new stages for the Divine Wrath of Mortal Will event, and then for the new Ultimate Red Zone that we have during this celebration. Now I'm thinking right here what they could do is they'll probably just give us 2 extra stages to kind of wrap things up. We see we're at 6 and 7. I'm thinking like a 8 and 9 maybe is the last 2 stages we're gonna get. But can I bring up this? How many? Yeah, you need 9 to Zamasu. So I'm thinking what's gonna happen is that you're gonna have to. It's gonna give us stages 8 and 9. Thinking it's gonna be like Corrupted Fusion Zamasu or Infinite Zamasu here, and then we'll get like a Sort of Hope Trunks final stage, and then those will be like the last 2 stages we get added here. Makes a lot of sense to me, but we'll see. I mean, so far the Zamasu event is actually in here. So like in terms of the support memory, what is it? It's called 2 Zamasus with the support memory. So they'll add missions for this, which will be very, very nice to see. Now, for Red Zone, again, we can get like Infinite Zamasu or something, Fusion Zamasu. We'll see what happens. I mean, maybe they add Fusion Zamasu this week, and then in the final stretch of content, which I talked about, they could add the Infinite Zamasu as a stage there. That would make a lot of sense. Beyond that, I think that the very obvious other, kind of thing, maybe we get more missions for the legendary events, even for other red zones. That's also possible. But, I think the thing that many people want to see is EZAs, for a lot of these characters that have been coming out or in the past or even during this celebration in terms of free-to-play units. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that we did get a producer's letter as well last year on the 19th at 7 p.m. So considering that, I think tonight, if we do get an EZA when part 3 actually starts, I'm pretty sure tonight we will see the Twitter details. Not saying that there is going to be an EZA when the celebration starts, because unlike last year, we did get an EZA when the part 2 LRs dropped. We did actually get a couple of EZAs. We got the sub EZAs for the Zamasu and STR Trunks, and then we got an actual Extreme Z battle with the Future Gohan and the AGO Trunks and Mai, the Tech Future Gohan specifically. I do think that they'll drop an EZA this week. I think that's very common. It's very likely they'll basically have been dropping an EZA every single week of the celebration. So I would anticipate that we are gonna be able to see an EZA, which is really good. I mean, the first was Zamasu and Trunks. The 8th was Future Gohan. Last week, the 15th, was the EZAs I just talked about. So this week, the 22nd, I could easily see us getting like another Extreme Z battle, maybe even 2 other Extreme Z battles, right? We'll see what they do there. But again, we did get producer's letter last year, which did tell us new stages added to this event. So again, I'm assuming we'll get confirmation of the new stages added here for the Divine Wrath of Mortal Will events. Then we should get details on an Extreme Z Awakening here. So I guess fingers crossed that we'll see an Extreme Z Awakening for, you know, either this guy or this guy, right, is what I'm seeing. I think if I had to guess which one would be revealed first, it'd probably be this guy, because he's obviously the much older units. And if they're only going to easy like one character this week, or even for the rest of the celebration, it would be this guy, because he is the 3rd oldest premium unit without an EZA. And maybe they want to save this unit for a future celebration, but who knows? I mean, for another celebration in the future, not a future celebration, because that's going on right now, right? Technically. Anyways, I think that this guy would be the one that we could see getting an EZA. Now, I'm not really sure if I'm that hopeful compared to a lot of people about this EZA, and the reason why is because he has a 50% stacking defense here. So what I'm thinking that they're probably going to do is they're probably not going to give him damage reduction or guard. I'd say maybe dodge would work for this guy if they want to give him a defensive tool. I think dodge would make sense, especially because here he actually this is the moment where he technically did do the instant transmission, right? We don't actually see in the animation though, but I guess this guy would also maybe get dodge. We'll talk about that, but I think that evasion would make a lot of sense for this guy, because I just like the stacking defense 50% and then giving guard to a character, or like damage reduction, like that's actually worth, you know, maybe if that's 20% reduction, right? But it wouldn't even mean anything. I think they're very scared of stuff like that now. I mean, like, what's it called? Zamasu specifically, he has like 20% attack and defense stacking, and he already had the reduction built in. I think it's a little different with this guy, but maybe they will add guard or like high damage reduction to this guy, especially when he's transformed. And another thing, hopefully they change this transformation condition. I would honestly say just make it turn 5. No HP restriction, make it turn 5. I think that'd be really, really good. If anything, they may keep the HP restriction, but make it like above 50%, and then again, turn 5. Or if they keep the HP restriction, make it even turn 4. That'd be really sick. But I mean, if I'm being like realistic, I could see something like transform when HP is like 50% or above, starting from the 5th turn. Maybe even they want to be mean and say 70%, right? But that could be something more realistic than what we're seeing now. But fingers crossed, it's just 5th turn. That'd be really, really good. Who knows what they're gonna do with this guy? You can't tell. He just is so blank. Maybe if this gives actual stats, that could be really good. I mean, again, what if they give him attack plus attack and defense 150%, then 50% chance to crit, dodge, and do an additional super? Imagine that, like just 50% chance to do all of the hidden potential system abilities when you're in Rose form, and then make him get like extra attack and defense when he's doing a super attack or something. Like, I think that would be really cool. And then this guy, maybe give this guy like the let's say the 4-turn guard or something, right? And then he transforms in turn 5. He'll be weak enough defensively where it's not like, oh, he's gonna be super invincible. Maybe this will give him attack and defense build up as well, and if he's guarding, you know, he could take these hits a lot better. And then with the critical hit build up, you know, he could do some decent damage, right? And then you transform to Rose, and then he's cooking really, really, really hard. So that'd be something I really would like to see. But again, keep in mind the 50% stacks could get really crazy, so I'm not really too sure how they'll handle him. Again, this is the other EZA that could potentially happen. This guy, I'm not sure. They'll probably make him just like an offensive juggernaut again. Maybe what they could do is they could be like, okay, once he super attacks with his 18 key, he gets like a high chance to dodge, because in his 18 key super attack, he actually does use the instant transmission. And it would remind me of the STR Goku and Gohan unit, which obviously we know this Goku does the instant transmission Kamehameha, and then of course he gets the high chance to dodge after he does the super attack, right? So I'm thinking that this Goku Black LR could be like a similar thing, which wouldn't be too bad. It would suck for Omega and I guess Sin, but Sin he's tapped disadvantage anyways. And Omega Shenron, you know, even though Omega's hard, there's still at this point a lot of other bosses that are on like his general level of power that don't do AoEs. So you could like use this guy like, you know, floating around on your team or something, and it would still help out the Zamasu team quite a bit. And besides, I think he's going to be like a slot 2, slot 3 unit anyways because of how his passive is greatly raising defense. They'll probably add defense here or something like that. Increase his start of turn attacking defense buff. Hopefully this is just better. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he also does have the rage mode, which could be interesting how they change this. Because the rage modes we know, especially since it's an active skill now, we could kind of control it. Maybe, I don't know. Would it be hard to fall under this HP restriction? Because even like Zamasu's team has so much healing at this point. And even this guy heals at the end of turn. So I don't know. But if you can get this off, you know, you could cancel super attacks. It could be really powerful. Maybe give him support too. Why not? He's a Rose Goku Black. But yeah, we would see details on one of these EZAs later tonight. And we also even got his transformation details, so like we would see what Goku Black's details are. But again, this doesn't give us the like transformation conditions, so yeah. All right, I guess for him it was active skill. There's a part 2 apparently, huh? I guess I don't know what the part 2 was. Oh yeah, the quest story renewal campaign, right? But that didn't relate to the worldwide celebration specifically. Okay, but yeah, that's basically everything I'm thinking we should be able to see for the worldwide celebration part 3. I mean, are there, oh, you know, no, there's 2 other characters I do want to talk about here. In fact, we'll bring up 3 characters specifically that I want to talk about. Where's the other one? Is he in here? Is he STR? What typing is that? Oh, no, he's int. This int Trunks. I don't want to talk about this guy. I think this guy could also get an EZA. In fact, you know, there's 2 other characters that I should talk about as well. I mean, just a bunch of characters at the end. This guy and this guy is also going to get an EZA likely this week, I'm thinking, for part 3 of the celebration. This unit could be interesting because apparently this stays for the entire 7 turns. Based on what people are telling me, I haven't actually tried them on myself to notice that or see that, but apparently this lasts for 7 turns. I didn't think it did. I haven't actually used it myself, but people are saying that that's what it does, so that could be interesting. Having like an off rotation support, like imagine if you gave 1 key and then like 30% like attack and defense or something crazy. Maybe it would just be like, even if it's just 1 key, 20% defense to all allies for 7 turns, like just for the whole battle he's supporting the whole rotation. That could be interesting. I mean, a lot of these Trunkses like get damage reduction, like these Rage Trunkses. A lot of them do have damage reduction abilities, or if not stacking. So again, I don't think they would get this guy stacking, but give him like some damage reduction ability or like some evasion or something, like and make him a really strong floater. I mean, again, this guy doesn't look too much here, but it's usually when they like finally get to their final phases of like EZAs or awakenings that, you know, characters get like the strongest abilities, like the guaranteed guard or high damage reduction or something like that, right? That's how they usually do it, which just sucks because this guy should have just been what the like EZA version is going to be, and then, you know, he EZAs in the future, but he's EZAing now, so it's like, oh, you know, he's like gonna be peak here and he can't like be reusable again in the future, really, unless we EZA too, right? But now keep in mind, this Trunks also EZA. This can't change because it's an active skill, since it's a domain, but it's still an active skill, so this actually cannot change the conditions here. But this is still good, and the effect can't change either. I do like this still though. It buffs allies and enemies. So superclass enemies for Future Saga get 10% extra attack and defense. So do your allies, right? I mean, it's very helpful in the red zone because obviously, or just like anywhere but like the new Vegeta Blue stage, basically, because there's like no other Future Saga category, you know, super class enemies that are really difficult. So that's good, right? I definitely do like seeing that right there. This could be started just from the first turn if there's a time traveler's enemy, which is really nice. And I like what this guy's doing right here. I mean, what this should be is this should have in dodge chats, but we'll see if, again, Beanie's like guard damage reduction and evasion. His defense like is not even like terrible for pre-EZA right now. So if he EZAs, you know, if this even increases, like greatly raise attacking defense, you know, make this like 50% here, increase his base stats by quite a bit. This is also multiplicative. Give him high chance to dodge plus crit on this ability, and I think that would be really, really cool. And I would like this guy quite a lot. So fingers crossed on what this guy's able to do. This guy, I think it'd be cool if he gets an Awakening EZA. I don't know what he'd do, but you know, there are some Android enemies first from Cell. Maybe again make this dodge too, who knows. But this guy's an SSR right now, so you would have to get Awakening and an EZA. So I'm not really 100% sure if that would be what happens, but it's happened before, I think. So it'd be cool if this Gohan gets an EZA, just because, you know, we did get the LR Future Gohan, so why not? Oh, but LR Future Gohan is farmable. I realized I could have farmed him up already. Oh, well, I mean, I use Kaizen, so I don't even care. These two have stickers in the data. Maybe they EZA, maybe they won't. Who knows? I can't really say for sure. But, yeah, I just want to bring them up, too. That is it. That's everything I want to talk about. So, yahoo! I mean, maybe we'll see other events that I'm not talking about, but let me know what you guys think. If you're excited for part 3, hopefully tonight we'll get EZAs, but can't say for sure. I would assume so, though. At least one, but we'll see. I'll catch you guys next time, though.